CBS News Miami.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. I'm Naja Sherman, and welcome to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. Let's take a look at today's top stories. Off the top, Debby lashes the Big Bend coast of Florida. This is video from Cedar Key. Watch as the storm surge floods the streets. A similar scene up the coast where Debby packed a punch with heavy winds and rain. Debby has now weakened to a tropical storm. At least 4 storm-related deaths have been reported. CBS News Miami's Christian Benavides is in Savannah with more.
Crews worked to remove downed trees and debris in Monticello, Florida, after Debby made landfall into Big Bend coast as a Category 1 hurricane.
We're really amazed that the water hadn't came over the seawall again so far. Hopefully, on this next tide that it won't.
Storm surge is expected to be the biggest threat in Florida, with 6 to 10 feet of inundation above ground level predicted in some coastal spots. Rescue boats were out in Sarasota, which has already received 10 to 12 inches of rain. Tragically, a 13-year-old boy died when the storm toppled a tree onto his family's home in Levy County. Now a tropical storm, forecasters say Debby is headed for coastal areas of Georgia and the Carolinas and will slow down dramatically.
We're going to see the center of the system just crawl along the southeast coast of the United States for 2 to 3 days. This is going to result in a prolonged extreme rainfall event.
City officials in Savannah declared a curfew beginning at 10 p.m. It's when the heaviest rainfall is expected.
That's what the purpose for the curfew is, to get folks out of the way of what you've never seen before.
Savannah residents loaded up sandbags, preparing for what officials are calling historic and unprecedented levels of water.
How are you feeling?
I'd rather not be here right now, but what are you going to do?
Melanie Smith got a helping hand from Sean Gardner.
I'm originally from the Bahamas, so we know about storms, really.
With a predicted 30 inches of rain in 3 days, Debby could pack a prolonged punch. Christian Benavides, CBS News, Savannah, Georgia.
Our team coverage continues now with CBS News Miami's Ted Scouten. He's at Miami International Airport with the latest on delays and cancellations.
Lots of canceled and delayed flights in and out of South Florida, and frustrated travelers. Thousands of passengers are either stranded or stuck for days before they can fly out. All of this because of Debby. Many are trying to come up with another way to get where they're going. What's your flight now? What's your...
Right now I'm on a United flight from Fort Lauderdale tomorrow at 7 a.m. We paid an arm and a leg for it, but I don't really have another option, so we'll see.
How much did you have to pay for it?
Close to $2,000.
Coming up at 5, a few suggestions that could get you on your way earlier. We'll also look at how those who booked with a credit card could see some relief. At Miami International Airport, Ted Scouten, CBS News Miami.
U.S. Border Patrol says Tropical Storm Debby blew 25 packages of cocaine onto a beach in the Florida Keys. A Good Samaritan discovered the drugs and contacted authorities. That's when U.S. Border Patrol sees the 70 pounds of cocaine has a street value of more than $1 million.
Always alerting, always tracking. This is Next Weather.
And taking a live look outside at downtown Miami, Debby has been a big rainmaker over the weekend, but is still sending moisture our direction. Let's get right to next weather. Meteorologist Cindy Pressler tracking it all.
Slow moving Debby right now, and it continues to weaken because it is sitting over land at this point. It's going to creep into Georgia probably by tomorrow, and then we're expecting it to be quite a bit weaker. But look at the moisture tail that's still dragging to the south, so that's what we're going to be looking for tonight and tomorrow. As far as the track, this is what we're looking at next. Savannah, Georgia. You saw we still had that report from Savannah. They're looking at a lot of rain, maybe up to 18 inches of rain, maybe 20 inches, and then possibly heading back out into the Atlantic Ocean. If it does that, that's its fuel, so it should strengthen again. But look at that, just kind of sitting, slowly creeping up the coast, and this is a big problem. This is going to be a flooding issue that we're going to see for the rest of this week. As a matter of fact, as much as 15 to 20 inches for Charleston, South Carolina, if it sticks on that track and then slowly works its way up the coast. So all the way up, we're seeing many, many inches of rain. There's going to be beach erosion, onshore flow. This is going to be a mess. And out in the Atlantic, there's another tropical wave that we are keeping an eye on. This one doesn't look too organized at this point. It is just close to the Windward Islands right now. We'll track off to the west, basically west-northwest. Hurricane Center is giving this about a 30% chance, so a low chance for development. So we'll see if conditions become more favorable heading this direction. But again, things can change, so this is something that we're going to be watching. Of course, we still have some showers and storms out there from Fort Myers down to Naples. And this is that moisture band that just continues to wrap in. So even though we're not getting any rain right now, we could see a few showers again tomorrow. That is a possibility. Our models want to paint on a few showers and thunderstorms by the afternoon. Again, there's a pretty good band there coming in the afternoon, moving through so we could pick up some more rain, and eventually that rain, that moisture will shut down, and then we'll just get general showers and thunderstorms. But for the time being, look for it to be a very warm or even a hot forecast coming up over the next few days with on and off showers and thunderstorms. So here is your forecast. Tomorrow, look for a high chance for showers and thunderstorms because we're still getting impacts from Debby this far south. So we're still going to see those showers and thunderstorms. Temperatures 93 degrees, but look, it gets hotter. Wednesday, a little bit drier air tries to move in here. We'll see if that actually happens. 95 degrees Wednesday, 93 Thursday, Friday 93, of course. Humidity, it's going to be very sticky. And this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, a pretty good chance that we will see some scattered showers and thunderstorms with temperatures topping out in the lower 90s.
And stay with CBS News Miami on air and online for continuing coverage of Debby's damage. The Florida primary just 2 weeks away. Early voting is now underway in Miami-Dade and Monroe counties. In Dade, there are 23 polling stations where voters can cast ballots. There are 5 in the Keys. If you live in Broward, early voting begins this Saturday. The primary election is on Tuesday, August 20th. For more information, go to our website. It is cbsmiami.com. CBS News Miami's Yvonne Taylor is working this story. He's going to have more information coming up tonight at 5. And when we come back, a South Florida commissioner candidate under arrest, what he's accused of doing with a minor. Welcome back to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. Voters decide. CBS News Miami has learned that Vice President Kamala Harris is on the verge of announcing who she wants to join her on the Democratic ticket for the White House. This comes as a new CBS News poll shows Harris has closed the gap with former President Donald Trump. CBS News Miami's Skylar Henry joins us live in Washington with more. Skylar.
Hey, Naja, good to be with you. Yeah, it's that polling that is going to be very important, and just statistics like that, in that the vice president and whoever she decides to run with will be focusing intently and intensely on those 7 battleground states. We know that once she makes that announcement tomorrow, she and her running mate will continue on throughout the country trying to make their pitch as to why they should be in the White House.
Vice President Kamala Harris left the Naval Observatory Monday afternoon, headed to meetings at the White House. On Sunday, at least 3 running mate finalists were seen arriving at the vice president's home for in-person interviews. Harris is expected to pick one of these 6 men to join her on the Democratic ticket. CBS News has learned she plans to announce her choice Tuesday morning, just in time for a new running mate to join her for a campaign swing through 7 battleground states.
It's an honor to be considered. But regardless of what happens through the process, I'm going to do everything I can to get Kamala Harris elected as President of the United States this November.
A new CBS News poll now shows Harris statistically tied with former President Trump in those battlegrounds, as well as nationally. The poll shows a big jump for Democrats compared to when President Biden was still running. When he dropped out, he had a 5-point deficit nationwide.
Well, thank you.
Trump campaigned in the battleground state of Georgia over the weekend with a rally at the same arena where Vice President Harris campaigned a few days earlier.
If Harris wins this election, you will quickly have a Kamala economic crash. You're going to have a crash.
The CBS News poll shows Trump with a lead over Harris when it comes to the economy.
Donald Trump still has a big edge on that, just like he did against Joe Biden.
Trump has been posting about the markets dropping on social media throughout the day, including this one saying simply, Trump cash versus Kamala crash.
And so what we are working on is to get the exact timing as to when the vice president plans on announcing who she decides on running with. We do know that it is expected to come out early tomorrow morning, and then there will be a video that will presumably be put out on social media as well as the TV airwaves before the two hit the campaign trail in South Philly tomorrow afternoon. Naja, back to you.
All right, Skylar, thank you for that live report. A political candidate arrested and accused of child abuse caught on tape. CBS News Miami's Peter Dench reports.
He's running on a seat for the Sunny Isles Beach Commission, and he appeared before a judge today, accused of assaulting 2 teenagers here at a Cuban restaurant. New cell phone video shows 59-year-old George Bardmesser before he got into an argument with several opponent leaders seated at a table next to him, according to police. He allegedly put one teenager into a chokehold, got into a shoving match, and hit another teenager in the face. He's been charged with 2 counts of child abuse with no great bodily harm. Coming up at 5 in just an hour, we will hear from witnesses in this case. On Sunny Isles Beach, Peter Dench, CBS News, Miami.
Here's a look at what's coming up tonight at 5. A new hurdle for residents in the village of Palmetto Bay. The construction of a hotly contested bridge is now in the hands of a controversial company, at least in part. The latest in the 87th Avenue bridge battle tonight at 5. And that's the CBS News Miami Quickcast. I'm Naja Sherman. Stay tuned for more news right here on CBS News Miami, and have a great day.